Calibrating cybernetics.
Talk to him now.
AT, Andre.
Come on, Dre.
Yep. Trippin with Let's Go. Woo! Trippin with Theobold.
What's your name?
Theobold.
Yeah.
Driggity. Let's go. Trippin with Theobold. Trippin.
What are we doing?
Trippin with Theobold.
Come on, Dre.
See, mic check 1 2, we on. Mic check 1 2, we on. Testing 1 2. Just want to make sure y'all can hear me right quick. Let me do a little sound check. Make sure y'all can hear me. Okay, sounds like we are good. Hey, what's going on, y'all? And welcome to the 68th episode of Trippin with Theobold. I'm your host, Andre Theobold, and this is the birthday edition. Birthday episode, man. Happy birthday to me. My birthday's not today. It's actually on January 23rd, which is on Monday. Before I go any further, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, tell a friend and tell a friend, do all that fun YouTube, internet stuff. I got my alarms going off here. Make sure I cut everything off so we can focus. No, let me just double check this right quick. Sorry, I'm a little late. Actually, I'm early. I'm supposed to shoot this at 9, but today I posted I was going to shoot it at 7 a.m. and I was just gathering a whole bunch of photos. I was trying to organize my thoughts and everything. So I did it last night, but I guess that's just the perfectionist in me trying to get shit right. But I mean, get stuff right, because I can't cuss on YouTube within 2 minutes. So once I get past 2 minutes, I will be Gucci. But nah, man, welcome. Let me go and pop in this chat right quick to see who is checking on little old me and the podcast that will. Let me see, where is YouTube chat? Here we go. Put you in here. Pop you right up on in here. And here we go. Hey, TT, what up, babe? Thank you. Pre-B day. Exactly. Pre-B day. My face looking a little shiny right now, man. I got out the shower, put my little oils and shit on, and I'm past the 2 minute mark, so I think I can cuss a little bit. I'm not gonna over cuss. But yeah, there we go. I got the Bills trapper on. So let's go ahead and get into it, man. So yeah, so today's episode 68, is tied to none other than, this is a dope player too from back in the day. This is before me. But today's episode is tied to number 68, Joe DeLamalura. I can say it, but I can't spell it. But if you know anything about the Buffalo Bills, Joe DeLamalura was he was the anchor of the electric company, right? And the electric company was the name of the offensive line that was given to the electric company was a name that was given to the Buffalo Bills offensive front line. And they blocked for OJ Simpson. So Joe DeLamalura was like the main dude on that front line. So a lot of the runs that OJ got was due to Joe DeLamalura. So this episode is tied to number 68, Joe DeLamalura. I think I'm gonna get me a Joe DeLamalura jersey, you know, because he's a foundational piece of the Buffalo Bills history, and even though it's before my era, I still got to get it just to pay homage. You know what I'm saying? So today's episode number 68 is tied to Joe DeLamalura. What else we got going on here? So, so today we're gonna do 2 tongue twisties. All right, because what I do is I take the day of the week, and I take the day of the week that corresponds to the numbered letter of the alphabet. I'm getting this all. Why am I struggling? I take the day of the week that corresponds to the same alphabetic number. I hope that makes sense, right? So for today, I said I'm doing 2 of them because today's the 20th, and I want to do one for my birthday, which is Monday, which is the 23rd. So here come the helicopters. God damn. Like right as soon as I shoot my pod, man, that's when everything starts happening. Dogs start barking, kids start playing, running through the halls, helicopters start running around, but we gonna get through it. So the 20th letter of the alphabet is T. So we're gonna do tongue twisties that start with the letter T. And then the 23rd letter of the alphabet is W. So we're gonna do tongue twisties that start with the letter W. Let's go ahead and get this out the way. So for those that don't know, the reason why I do tongue twisties is because I grew up with a speech impediment and it's not all the way gone. You know what I'm saying? So tongue twisties are a way to help kind of get it's a way to help get my mouth going. Pause. You know what I'm saying? So I'm talking in control. I feel like I have more control whenever I do my tongue twisties. So let me go ahead and do the letter T. So here we go. Let's go ahead and get to it. You can read along with me if you want. Sorry for the noise, that bump. But if you want to, you can read along with me. Let's go ahead and do it. Let's go ahead and get to it. So here we go. T. They threw 3 thick things. They threw 3 thick things. They threw 3 thick things. 3 Scotch thistles in the thicket. 3 Scotch thistles in the thicket. 3 Scotch thistles in the thicket. Thrash the thickest thug. Thrash the thickest thug. Thrash the thickest thug. Tacky tractor trailer trucks. Tacky tractor trailer trucks. Tacky tractor trailer trucks. And the last one, truly rural. Truly rural, truly rural. Yay, we got the T out the way. Let's go ahead and get the W out the way. There we go. Warm whispering winds fill woodland waves. Warm whispering winds fill woodland waves. Warm whispering winds fill woodland waves. Wee Willie Winky went walking in the wet wood. Wee Willie Winky went walking in the wet wood. Wee Willie Winky went walking in the wet wood. The wild wind whipped wit from the wharf. The wild wind whipped wit from the wharf. The wild wind whipped wit from the wharf. Wilson whittles well-whittled wood whittle by whittle. Wilson whittles well-whittled wood whittle by whittle. Wilson whittles well-whittled wood whittle by whittle. And the last one, Wally Winkle wriggles his white wrinkled wig. Wally Wrinkle wriggles his white wrinkled wig. Wally Wrinkle wiggles his white wrinkled wig. And we are done with the tongue twisties. So got that out the way. Mouth is warmed up. Pause. Here we go. What else we got now? So I'm gonna go ahead and plug some things. I should have brought it out, but I'm not gonna do all that because it's gonna be a pretty packed filled show. Oh man, I didn't bring any of my, what in the world? Okay, whatever. We're just gonna play it. We're just gonna go along with it. So yeah, so one thing I want to plug today is a squatty potty. I didn't know anything about a squatty potty until I went to an open mic on, I believe it was Tuesday night. I went to an open mic on Tuesday. I got me a squatty potty, man. I didn't know anything about that. I went to an open mic, and this one comic was talking about a squatty potty or something. And I was like, is this really a thing? And then I went on Amazon, and man, Amazon is the devil, man, because everything is like decently priced, you know, and if you think you need it, you'll just go ahead and buy it, you know. So I went ahead, I saw this squatty potty for like $20, or maybe I paid like 30 for it, but it's like, basically it's like a stool that you basically unfold and you put around the base of your toilet, and you basically go boo-boo with your knees up, you know. So you, like, your knees are on an angle, you know, your knees are kind of like on an angle, and they say it's supposed to like help with like constipation, and that's how you're supposed to poop, you know what I'm saying? So I ain't know that. So I got it, man, and I'm now pooping with my knees in the air, you know. So that didn't really sound weird, but you know what, I'm gonna report back on this in a couple weeks. I'm gonna report back. I'll let you know how my bowels is doing, you know. But they say it's supposed to be good, so I said, hey, let me go ahead and try it. So I got that. Then I got 2 more coil brushes for my beard. I got 2 more coil brushes. You can go to thecoilbrush.com to go check them out. For those of y'all with beards or like hair, the coil brush is this brush that basically brushes your hair out without pulling it. You know, it's a good brush. What else do I want to plug? Man, yeah, I had my bee pollen out. I took it. Squatty potty is the shit. Yeah, it's funny. Squatty potty is the shit. It is the shit. What else, man? I got yeah, my mom put me on. Moving the. This is making a mess. My mom put me on the bee pollen. You know, so I went on to Amazon, and I'll probably, like I said, I'll probably replug this stuff next week because I want to actually have like the images of what I got and the certain brands. But my mom put me on the bee pollen. You know, I was home over the holidays, and I was still drinking Zip Fizz, and my mom was like, "You still drink that stuff?" And I was like, "Yeah," you know. And Zip Fizz like gets you up. It's like it has caffeine in it. It's a good energy drink with vitamins, but it flushes you out too. If you drink it, you gotta kind of like be around the toilet, you know. So I went ahead and my mom put me on the bee pollen, and bee pollen is like it's a good energy booster. Like it's a natural energy booster. I highly recommend it. I took some this morning, and I'm buzzing like a bee. And then I want to give a special shout out to, like, hope I didn't mess this up. Oh man, but I don't want to ruin it. Let me yeah, I want to give a special shout out to. Oh, that's not it. That's not it. I want to give a special shout out to my cousin Dav. Shout out to my cousin Daphne. Man, if you look in the middle of this picture here, if you look to the middle, I gotta probably put it behind. If you look to the middle of this picture here where I'm pointing behind, let me actually drag it down so I can point. My cousin Dav, me and her go way back, man. So if you look here, my cousin Dav hit me up last week and was like, "Hey," she sent me a picture. It's like, "Yo, do you want one?" And she sent me this Bills Believe Together banner. All right, so I put it up, and it's hanging up, and this is going to bring the Bills luck, you know, for the playoff game we got coming up, or for the rest of the playoff. I'm gonna keep it up for the rest of the playoffs, you know. I think this year is it, but we gonna talk about that later. But yeah, me and Dav go way back, man. If you look here at the top, man, that's Dav. That's Dav's big head right there, and I'm in the back throwing up the peace sign right there. You know what I'm saying? So, man, shout out to my cousin Dav. Man, we used to go to a lot of Bills. We used to go to like a lot of Bills games, but here's the thing: Dav doesn't go to the cold games. Dav don't go to the cold games. She only messed with the well, actually, she went to like 1 or 2 cold games, but you know, she like me, her, like we got stories about my grandpa, man. Like we got stories about our grandpa, man, because my grandpa was a huge Bills fan, and it's dope that you know, as we got older, you know, we started like really going to the games more and doing stuff. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to my cousin Dav. Appreciate you. Thanks for the flag. It's up, and that's that. So what else we got going on here now? So as you guys know, it's almost Dre Day. Dre Day is on the 23rd. And let's go and talk about it. You know what I'm saying? So Dre Day is on the 23rd. But today, I'm going to do some celebrations today. You know, it's going to be a low-key day. Me and the old lady, you know what I'm saying? We're going to drive down to Orange County. And we're going to do what I normally do on my birthday. All right? It's just kind of a thing I started doing. It was a thing I started doing like when I first moved out here. Like I would just take the day off, and I would I do 2 things, right? I typically go to this Thai restaurant. It's called Thai Spice. I get my little lunch, you know, and you got to make sure you get there before 2:00, you know, because they'll shut the kitchen down and they try to get ready for the 5:00 dinner or whatever. But yeah, we gonna get there before 2, well before 2. I'm gonna eat there. And then I typically do that, and then I go to rooftop lounge. I go to the rooftop lounge down in Laguna Beach, and I stand and look over the water, and I enjoy. I like watching the sun drop over the water. It drops right over there behind, Catalina Island. So, and then once the sun drops there, I then go to the Spectrum, which is an outdoor mall in Orange County. I go to this spot called Yard House. I mean, Yard House is a pretty trendy, or it's a pretty well-known establishment. But I go to Yard House, get my little salad. Come on, Dre. I get my little salad. And then I might get like a little birthday cake, or like a little slice of some cake or whatever they have there. And then I take my ass home. That's typically just what I do. That's what I've been doing for like the past 8-9 years since I've been here. And then, since the championship Sunday used to be on my birthday, I used to go to Vegas in late January. Then I say, hey, why not just go and watch a Super Bowl in Vegas? So that's typically what I do every year. So me and the old lady, we're going to drive down to Orange County. We're going to do that. I'm going to show her where I used to live at. I'm going to show her like where my crazy neighbor used to live at. And then I'm going to drive around a little bit down there. And we're going to pretty much do all what I just talked about. And then that'll be that for the day, So that's kind of like the overview of what I'm going to do for like for Friday. And then Saturday we have like one of her nieces, I guess if you want to call it that. I think her birthday's tomorrow, so we're gonna go swing by there for a little bit. And then on Monday, which is my actual birthday, we're gonna go to Quarters and get some Korean barbecue, man. Like Korean barbecue is my spot. Like I would say Quarters is like the equivalent of my version or of my dad's version of Ruth Chris Steakhouse, because every year on our birthdays, my mom, my dad, or my birthday, we go to Ruth Chris Steakhouse. It was an excuse to go to Ruth Chris Steakhouse. So Quarters is my equivalent of Ruth Chris. My dad couldn't say Ruth Chris. He said Root Crisp. Root Crisp. ROOTCRISP. Root Crisp. Hey, Dre, we're gonna go to Root Crisp. I'm like, Dad, what the hell is Root Crisp? Come on, man. Anyways, what else we got going on, man? So yeah, I just wanted to kind of go down memory lane and talk about like my birthdays of the past, man. Like, man, my birthdays in the past like were dope. From like the ages of, I can't even remember when, but up until the age of 13, like my birthdays were dope, man. So shout out to my mom, man. As you guys can see, you can see some of the photos here in the back. My mom was the one that did all this. Like you see me blowing out birthday cake candle. You see me in the little Chuck E. Cheese frog ride. What else, man? Nah, look at it. That little frog look like me. That little frog, look like me, don't it? It's like I'm riding me. But that sounded weird. But anyways, I don't want to do that. Come on, get here. Here we go. Oh. Chat, man. It's hard to move things around here. Come on, here we go. Yeah, so as you guys can see, that's me over there. In the right corner. So my mom, man, she used to make my birthdays real special, man, when I was a youngin'. Like it was a big ordeal. Like I was like I don't know. I was spoiled up until the age of 13 with my birthdays. Like we would always like go to school. Like we'd always go to Giant. Giant is like the grocery store in the DMV area. We used to go to Giant and get the little Dixie cup ice creams. These little cups, little packs of cups and cupcakes. Or my mom would actually make the cupcakes, but we go to Giant and get the little Dixie cups, little circular ice creams. Like they're like a hockey puck, but you open up the tab and then you have like a little wooden spoon and I would bring those to school like on the day of my birthday, pass them out to all the kids in my class. And then my mom basically coordinated with like my friends in the school, and we'd have like this big sleepover, you know, like so she'd have like, yeah, we have like 10 people at my house, you know, 10 people would come over. And we didn't, I don't know why we even call it a sleepover, because like we ain't even sleep. You know what I'm saying? It was like we just stayed up playing video games all night. You know, we had the like we had the big TV and we had the small TV, you know, so like if you lost on the big TV, you had to get in line on the small TV until you won and got to the championship on that TV, and then you could play whoever was the beast on like the big TV, you know. Or we like back in the day we played Nintendo, you know what I'm saying? That's all we do, play Nintendo. But man, those days were always so dope, man. And I'm looking at, and the reason why I posted this here, if you look up top here, this is my bed when I was like during that time frame, right? So if you look here, I had a bunk bed, and you see my Voltron sheets. But now this was like, so that's how you know I was spoiled, man, because I had a bunk bed and I was the only child, you know. So like if I didn't feel like making my bed on the top, I would just sleep on the bottom. But for the most part, I always slept on the top. But I remember like the day before my birthday, man, I was always like so excited. You know, I couldn't wait, couldn't sleep. And then I maybe got like an hour of sleep the day before my birthday, and my mom would come wake me up, happy birthday. Or my dad would come in and sing happy birthday. He'd be like, he can't sing word for lit. He'd be like, happy birthday to you. And I wake up like, oh shit, it's my birthday, yay, you know. But nah, man, but that's like, there was always like this big excitement, you know. And then like on the weekend, that Friday, of course I had to do my chores leading up to the weekend. But then on that Friday, all my friends would start getting dropped off one by one, and I would see them all just kind of come in. They all come in, we'd be excited, you know. Had a little birthday cake or whatever. And but yeah, shout out to Miss Madeline, man, or rest in peace, Miss Madeline. Miss Madeline was one of my mom's co-workers, and during that time period, she used to always make my birthday cakes, you know. So this is like, I got to find more pictures of the birthday cakes that Miss Madeline made me, right? My mom used to work at this hospital on the psych ward with this lady, Miss Madeline. And Miss Madeline used to make these cakes, man. If I can, yeah, see right here. Here we go, Miss Madeline. Let me blow it up a little bit. So this is a Voltron cake. So as you see, I was a Voltron fan back in the day. You can see the Voltron. You can see the Voltron bed sheets on my bed. But nah, this was like she made all these like dope cakes, man. She made like I got a Voltron cake one year. One year I had a Darth Vader cake. Then another year she made me a Ninja Turtle cake, man. And then I had a Ghostbusters cake. Anything, like she would just get creative with it, man. You know, and she even made I think she even made a cake for me to take to school. So it was a big deal. I would come to school and I would have this cake, and people are like, "Ooh, who made that cake? Ooh, I want some." But her cakes were so dope because you didn't want to eat them because they were like a work of art. But not only were they well done, they were good. You know, taste good. But anyways, yeah, they would all come over one by one on Friday night, and then or Friday. Yeah, they'll come on Friday, and then some people will come on Saturday night. So it was like a 2-day thing. And then we stay up all night, eat pizza, play video games, talk shit. Just think like Stranger Things episode 1, season 1, like when they're in the basement, except minus the Dungeons and Dragons. Like we had video games. So we're all downstairs just playing, making noise, running around, acting a fool, having fun. And then what else did we do, man? And then for some reason, every year on my birthday, like for a while, like during that time period, on Saturday it would snow. Like that weekend it would snow, and not just snow, it'd be a lot of snow. So then we go outside and then have like a snowball fight, a big snowball fight or whatever. And it was I think it happened maybe like maybe 3 or 4 times, I think it was, but we be outside having this like massive snowball fight. Let me see. Yeah, let me just show you a picture of this right quick, because this is yeah, this is like the front. This is you can't really see because all the snow, but this is in Maryland. And oh, I didn't mean to do that. Why did I do that, man? Okay, here we go. Click on that. Here we go. So as you see, I got the Bills Apex coat on, the 90s Bills Apex coat that you saw in the 90s. But this is the kind of snow I would get on my birthday, like that weekend. So we go outside and have this huge like snowball fight, and then people would then like go home. Mostly everybody went home like Saturday night. You know, everyone pretty much went home Saturday night, but a few people stayed on Sunday because they were football fans. And NFL, if you remember, like back in the 90s, NFL Championship Sunday was like the weekend of the 23rd. So like my birthday weekend was the NFL Championship Sunday. So that's when like there's 2 games that decide who goes to the Super Bowl. You know, so we always had like that was always fun. We always had people, maybe like 3 or 4 people would stay, and then we would either go out to a restaurant and get some food and then come back, watch the games, or my mom would make chicken wings and make stuff, and then we watch the championship game on Sunday, and then it would all come to an end, you know? So yeah, I think Christmas and then birthday, and then it's like a huge letdown after that, because it's like, you know, you get gifts, and then you get more gifts, and all of a sudden now it's over. So you got to wait. But nah, like I said, those were like up until the age of 13, like those were like special like birthdays, man. Those ones were all dope, man. So thank you, Mom. Appreciate you, man. Them joints was dope. Now when I turned 13, after 13, birthdays, man, it was different because it's a different phase of life, right? So at 13, I couldn't have sleepovers no more, you know, getting too old for that shit. So I remember like I think it was my 13th or my 14th, I think it was my 13th birthday. I'm like, I don't remember what happened, but I think it was because I went to a new school. That's what it was. I went to a new school and I didn't know anybody. So, and I went to school that was like a little further away from my other school. So like my mom wasn't really connected with all my friends. Actually, no, I take that back. 13th, I think we did like a birthday sleepover weekend. I think it's when I turned 14. When I turned 14, that's when like the blues hit. Cause I remember, you know, we didn't have any Dixie cups. I had no birthday cake to take to school. There was no birthday weekend plans of people coming over. And my actual birthday came, and I remember like it was weird. Like I didn't I got like a birthday card or whatever. I got some money, a little bit of money. But then it was like, I think the highlight of that birthday was I went to Columbia Mall, and I wanted this Damon Stoudemire jersey that I saw, and I got it. But then that was it, you know? So I remember like, man, you gotta think, when you go from having huge birthday parties or like people coming over and having a whole weekend extravaganza to just happy birthday, nigga. Like that's just a huge letdown. You know what I'm saying? So I remember, you gotta think too, like back then I didn't have a license, couldn't drive anywhere. I couldn't go to no club, you know what I'm saying? Because I was too young. So like after like 14, birthdays kind of got weird, you know? But as I got older, you know, birthdays got, or I guess I matured, you know, and birthdays got a little better, or they didn't get better. I just got more mature, you know? Excuse me. So one thing, let me see. So man, my golden birthday. So if you guys don't know what a golden birthday is, a golden birthday is when you turn the same age as the day of your birthday, right? So my golden birthday was January 23rd. I'm giving my age away. I don't give a shit. My golden birthday was January 23rd of 2004, right? That's when I turned 23. I turned 23 on the 23rd. And I learned like golden birthdays are supposed to be special, you know, and this one was special, but it was special in a different way, like because it taught me a hard lesson. Like my golden birthday, I learned a very hard lesson, but in part it made me who I am today, and I'm grateful for it. So long story short, let me go and break this down. So on my golden birthday, I was in college, and like all I wanted was to be back home with my friends, and I wanted to go see this band. I think they were called What Band back then, and the lead mic, it's a go-go band because I'm from the Maryland area, so it was a go-go band, and Chris, aka Rod, a rapper from Northeast Groovers, was the lead mic for What Band. I think he also was the lead mic for 911 Band, but they were at this spot in Laurel called Dinosaurs, right? And all I wanted for my birthday was I wanted to come back home for the weekend, and I wanted Chris, aka Rod, a rapper, to give me a shout out on my birthday. That's what they do at Go-Go's, right? They'd be like, hey, Big Mike, it's your birthday. Like they'll do that on the mic and shit, and then they join rocking, they rocking out, and it's just fun. And not only that, my golden birthday was on a Friday. So I wanted to, and they were playing that night. So I wanted to go make it back home, go to this go-go with my friends. And I wanted to have Chris, aka Raw the Rapper, shout me out, right? So I was trying to make everything too perfect, you know? So I had to catch a train home, and I went to school in Philly. So before I caught the train home, I was trying to find a jersey that I could wear or something that I could wear on my golden birthday. And I found like the perfect thing to wear, right? So what I found in the mall, which at the time was a lot of money to, cost a lot of money to me at the time. It was like $100 or whatever. If I can find it. Not that. Yeah, here it is. So if you look, I was in Philly when I got this jersey here. And it's Marcus Camby's jersey when he played for the Nuggets. And it had a golden 23 in the corner. See the golden 23? So it had a golden 23. And I was like, yo, I got to get that, man. So I found that jersey on my birthday. I found this jersey on my golden birthday. So I went ahead and I bought it. And I got it like right before I had to catch the train. So I got it, hopped on the train. And then I caught the train back home. Then we got home. Then my mom and my dad took me out to Ruth Chris Steakhouse. And while I'm at Ruth Chris Steakhouse, I'm texting all my friends like, hey, man, hey, yo, eating dinner with my mom and dad. As soon as I get home, I'm going to be over. I'm going to come scoop y'all. We're going to go to Dinosaurs and we're going to go see What Band, right? And they're like, okay, all right, okay, yeah. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm texting them or whatever, texting back and forth. Finally get home. I get in the Geo Metro, because that was the car I drove back in the day. I had an 89 Metro that I had at the house. So I drove around I drove at the pickup spot where I was supposed to pick everybody up at, and nobody was there. So now I'm panicking. I'm like, yo, where's everybody at? You know what I'm saying? So I call, and everyone's like, yo, they're all like just scattered around on foot, walking all over Laurel. I'm like, man, what the fuck is y'all doing, man? I'm like, yo, I thought the plan was I'm gonna come scoop you, I'm gonna scoop y'all, and then we gonna go to Dinosaurs to go hear What Band, you know? So they all ended up at like someone else's house. And then after that, we all went back to the rendezvous spot, or the rendezvous house where we were supposed to go meet up at. And I was like, yo, man, are we gonna go see What Band? Are we gonna go? Like, what's going on? Like, I thought this was the plan. And it was like a little drunk. I think some of them was maybe like a little drunk, maybe like a little high. And they were like, man, Dre, man, calm down, man. Calm down, man. They're like, man, it's just your birthday, man. Just calm down, man. No, we just gonna hang out and kick it here tonight, man. I'm like, nah, but I thought the plan was, you know, we're supposed to go to Dinosaurs. Nah, man, we just gonna lay back, man. Just kick back and relax, Dre, man. We don't gotta do that tonight. So I was heated, man. you know. And then when I remember somebody saying, I forgot who it was, but they were like, "Oh, what's wrong, man? You mad? Oh, you gonna get ready? I'm like, man, you gonna like?" They're like, "Man, you gonna cry?" So at that point, I was livid, so I just left. Right, I left, and then I went home, and then I was supposed to leave. I think the next day or the next night. I was supposed to leave the next night, but I had my mom. I was like, "Mom, just go ahead and drop me at the station in the morning." It wasn't in the. It was like It was like earlier, like around noon. But she knew I was pissed. 'Cause I made all these plans and did all this shit just to like not do it or have people bail on me. You know what I'm saying? So I was mad as shit. You know. And my mom knew it, and then she basically dropped me at the station the next day. I went back to school, got back, and then I went to this party, got drunk, then I took my ass to sleep, and that was it. You know what I'm saying? So the reason why I say that this birthday is probably like one of the most memorable, not in a good way, but it's the why that lesson. Well, I learned a valuable lesson from that whole experience, you know, and the lesson I learned from that, exactly, yeah, exactly. So, but I learned a very valuable experience from that, right? And the thing I learned from that experience was, you know, birthdays are your day. Be selfish on your birthday. You know, do what you want to do on your birthday, right? And like another lesson I learned from my golden birthday debacle. I call it the pee birthday because it was golden like piss and it stunk. But another lesson I learned from that birthday was, you know, don't try to make perfect plans on your birthday. You know, don't try to have everything be just right. You know, because if you try to make things perfect, something's gonna come and fuck with it. Something's gonna come around and mess with it, and it's gonna put you in a funk. You know, so that to me, even though the lesson was hard, it was a painful lesson, but I'm grateful that I learned that lesson. So that's why when people know me, like they know I'm real funny about my birthday. You know, like a lot of times I don't tell people what I'm doing. I might shut my phone off, you know, and it's my birthday. It's my day. I can do what I want, you know, like if I want to take the day off and just sleep in bed all day, I'm going to do that because why? It's my party and I can cry if I want to, you know what I'm saying? But nah, I just I always take time to celebrate myself, you know, and enjoy just being alive, you know what I mean? But that was a lesson I learned, you know? So that's why I'm very selfish on my birthday, man. You know? Very selfish on my birthday. It's my day. And I get it, you know, there's some people, you know, when it's their birthday, you know, I'm always like, hey, how can I support? Are you doing anything? And then if they don't really make plans or anything, a lot of times people don't want. I try to put myself in other people's shoes, you know what I mean? And I like to just say, you know what? Let me just be more in a supporting role to just tag along if I'm invited, you know? But what else, man? So I remember when I first moved to Orange County, it's like 2013. This chick I was dating at the time, I remember, man, she ruined my birthday, man. That joint was terrible, man. Oh man. Wow. Basically what happened was on that day was, and I wasn't like I said, I wasn't trying to make anything perfect, but basically there was some kind of like restaurant festival or something that was going on in Orange County, and it was called Pelican Hill. I mean, it was at Pelican Hill. I think it's called Pelican Hill. And that's where Kobe used to live at down in Orange County. It's like way down in Laguna almost. But it's like real lavish, man. Like it's a very expensive area. It's like one of the most expensive areas in California, I think. But we went to this restaurant. It was a dope like restaurant. It was like I can't even describe it. It looked like something from a movie. Um, uh, it looks like um, I remember just like being outside and it's like these like pillars, these big pillars, and like you're overlooking this like hill or these like foothills, and it was just very like it looked like something from like Rome or something, right? But I remember she wanted to take me out there because it was like a festival or something going on, but it was like normally the dishes were like super expensive, but it was like kind of, I guess, like cheap because they wanted to attract new clientele. So I remember she gave me the instructions, or she told me where to meet up at. So she was there, and I got there like a little late. You know, it's my birthday, but I got there like a little late. Had like a little trouble finding it. And when I got there, I remember she had an attitude that I was like a little late. And then I remember just the whole time at dinner, it was just like a negative vibe, you know. And then when we got downstairs to the garage, I remember saying, I remember we got into an argument about why I was like 5 minutes late, you know. So basically what happened was I told her, I said, hey, look, I was like a little late, you know. I had a little trouble finding it. But then on top of that, I said something where, and this is the truth. I basically told her, I said, hey, you know, no, she asked like she asked me why didn't I park in a certain part of the garage. And I said I thought that your car was over there, you know? It was something about like these two cars that looked alike, and I thought her car was the other car. And then when I brought that up or whatever and said it, she tried to accuse me of like making up a story on the fly, you know? So we were going back and forth, and all I remember saying is, I was like, yo, man, you're ruining my birthday, man. I'm going home, you know? And then she was like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm like, nah, I'm going home and leave me alone, you know? So, so yeah, nah. So, yeah, so I have a very like, my thing is like, if I invite people out to my birthday, man, it's like, don't take that lightly, you know? Like, don't take that lightly, because it's like, typically, like I said, I typically roll dolo, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, is what it is. But what else, man? One thing that I struggle with on my birthday, maybe you guys can relate, but I struggle with OCD birthday wishing, right? Like, there's rules to making birthday wishes. First of all, I don't like wishing, you know? Like, when you wish, it's like basically you're hoping for luck, you know? So it's like, why not just, you know, figure out what it is you want and go get it, you know? But if I'm going to put in this work, and if I'm going to put forth the effort, I'm like, why not have luck on my side, you know? So, so I struggle with birthday wishes, man, because there's all these rules, right? Like, you know, do you make the wish at midnight of your birthday? Do you make it at the time that you were born on your birthday? You know, do you have to blow out? Do you have to make the wish while you're blowing out the candle? You know, all this pressure. You know, do you have to? You know, you can't tell anyone what you wish for, or it won't come true. You know, you can't write it down. You know, you have to make sure that you wish for one thing and only one thing only. Because if you don't, the wish is gonna be invalid. So it's like I go through all these different things about what I really want, man. And like right now, I'm afraid to even tell you some past birthday wishes I had, because they might come true this year, you know? So that's like my little birthday dilemma when it comes to making birthday wishes and stuff like that, you know? But nah, man, I feel like as I'm getting older, I just feel like there's less pressure on my birthday, and that's dope, man, you know? Because I know how to take time off to do things to celebrate myself, you know? T says, nah, time to give back the same energy. Exactly. It's time to give people back the same energy that they give you. Exactly. Exactly. You know, and a lot of times, you know what I'm saying? No energy is good energy, you know? Sometimes you don't give any energy back, you know? Like, you know, I'm not gonna do the equal and opposite, you know, because that means now I'm taking effort out of my time to do that. It's like, if you're not giving me no energy, I'm not gonna give you energy back, you know. So I totally agree with that. But yeah, so like I said, I don't feel that birthday pressure anymore. I feel like I know how to celebrate me. I know how to just relax and kind of go with the flow. Like I said, I have things that I do, but there's no set time. It's like, yeah, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, we're gonna do this, and boom, you know, real simple. But yeah, so anyways, let me move on with the next portion of the show. So as you guys know, or as I said before, my birthday used to be on Championship Sunday, NFL Championship Sunday, right? So I used to like watch the championship games on Sunday, and then Super Bowl was normally the last week in January. Now it's like the first week in February. So with that being said, leading into the next topic, we're going to talk about Super Bowl stressing. So let me actually find where my here we go. There we go. Time to talk about these bills. So with that being said, one of my birthday gifts to me this year is I went ahead and you guys are gonna laugh or not. I went ahead and I bought a Super Bowl ticket. Yay! I bought me a Super Bowl ticket to go to Super Bowl 57. That shit hurt, but it was something that had to be done, you know. Yeah, I went ahead and so last year. So here's the thing, right? The Bills basically have been getting good every year. They've been almost getting over that hump, and I was like, it's 2023. What can I do that's going to be memorable in 2023? Bills look like they're trying to go. And last year, and it's like last year, I was trying to get lucky. You know what I'm saying? Me and my old lady, man, we were trying to fill out Super Bowl sweepstakes, listening to the internet radio, trying to fill out these little contests or whatever. And, you know, just hoping to like see if we can't get a ticket or whatever so I can go to Super Bowl. So this year I said, you know what? I went back and forth and I said, what would be worse? Would it be worse if what would be worse? Would it be worse if the Bills went to the Super Bowl and won and I wasn't there? Or would it be worse if I was short a couple thousand? And it's, I'm saying, like, man, that shit hurt. So I went ahead and I broke down and I got my ticket last week. Had to move some money around. But if the Bills go, I go. We are a package deal, you know? And I'm going to go on a limb a little bit further, right? If the Bills don't go to the Super Bowl, I'm going to resell my ticket and hopefully I make a profit off it, and I'll keep letting it roll over. But I got to see these Bills. If the Bills are meant to win a Super Bowl in my lifetime, I have to see it with my own two eyes. I got to see it with my own two eyes, man. I done been through a lot with my team from a youngin'. I stuck with my squad. Like, I gotta see them. If they're gonna win a Super Bowl in my lifetime, I gotta see it with my own two eyes. So in addition to that, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go on a limb, you know, and God willing, if the Bills don't win the Super Bowl, I'm going to commit every year to going to the Super Bowl every year. Like, now here's the thing though, right? Now, if they go to the Super Bowl and they losing, it's gonna be hard, man. This is gonna be extra hard. Like, let's say that they go 4 straight more times and lose. Uh, yeah, she said, "Boy, you couldn't live your." Yeah, exactly. If I missed it, man, I would have been like, "Why? Why did I even do all this? Like, why even be a fan?" You know what I'm saying? Like, I went through the ridicules, the jokes. I went through all that shit. You know, the hope. Like, I was like, I had my hopes. I had high hopes 4 years in a row and was let down, man. Like, that shit. That shit. Like, man, that shit hurt. You know. But nah, I'm basically gonna commit to every year. I'm going to commit to. Let me just play some scenarios out so you understand what I'm saying, right? So, for example, if the Bills don't go to the Super Bowl this year, I'm gonna sell my ticket, and then I'll hold on to. Hopefully, I make a profit off it, and then I'll just reinvest it next year into another ticket, you know. And then hopefully they go and win the following year, or I'm gonna keep doing that process. But if they go and lose, that's gonna hurt even worse because I'm actually paying to go to the Super Bowl, and then I got to do it all over again next year. I mean, I got to start from ground. You know what I'm probably gonna do? I'm probably gonna start like a Super Bowl savings account, so that way, you know, I may even do something crazy. I may do something crazy. I may like what I may do in addition to playing DraftKings on the weekends is I may just instead of watching the games during the season, I'm just gonna Uber. That's what I might just Uber during the games next season. Like if the Bills, here's the thing: if the Bills go to the Super Bowl and if they don't win next year, I'll Uber every Sunday, like during the games, until I get enough bread to buy the Super Bowl ticket. Then I'll buy the ticket. If they're looking like if they're looking playoff bound, I'll go ahead and get the ticket early because that's the thing, right? Let me go ahead and get into my Super Bowl ticket purchasing process, right? So, it's very it's a high price item. It's not just like buying a ticket. It's weird. Like I had to work with this broker, this agent, and it was like it's almost like buying a car, right? Because he could be talked down. You know what I'm saying? It was like, you know, you have to just come at the right time. So I knew that I didn't want to be in a situation where the Bills look like they going and all of a sudden ticket prices go up like triple, you know, for like, you know, for a nosebleed seat. So I went ahead and just jumped on it before the playoffs even started, you know, because if you look at the charts, they go like this and then boom, all of a sudden, right? So I was like, nah, if I'm gonna get it, I'm gonna get it early. So I got it like right before the kickoff too of the playoffs last weekend. But it was a lot of back and forth. But here's the thing, man. Like banks are starting to get on my nerves, yo. Like if I got the cash in the bank and if I move money to another bank, right? Because here's my thing, right? If I have a savings account, I don't like having a card associated with my account because it's gonna be easier to spend, right? So I like to just have like my cash in an account that I'm saving for. And if I'm gonna make a purchase, I know that I have to physically go there to get the money out, right? So I know that that's how you save, right? So I needed to move. So first I did a transfer. I tried to transfer my money, but they were like, you can only make a transfer amount of so much. So I'm like, how the fuck you gonna tell me how much money of my money I can transfer to another bank? You know? So I was pissed about that. So I went ahead and I went to my bank and then I wrote myself a cashier's check, drove it to my other bank, put it there, and they said, oh, it's gonna be about like a 3-day hold on the check. I'm like, yo, what the fuck, man? Y'all banks, y'all know, like y'all FDIC insured, right? You got the money. You both are banks. You just call each other, just validate that you got my money. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I went ahead and I had to use my card to go ahead and actually charge the amount that I wanted. Not my credit card, because I don't have a credit card, but I went ahead and I had to use my debit card to basically charge out of my savings account, my original savings account, to buy this ticket. And then yeah, so it was just a lot of running around, man. It took me like 5 phone calls to get this ticket, you know. So it's pretty stressful. But I did it. I'm glad I did it. But another reason why I made sure I got the so there's a lot of reasons why I got the ticket this year, right? Number one, it's 2023. My birthday is January 23rd. Figured I'd do something big on my birthday, potentially. But then also a lot has happened in Buffalo this past year, man. A lot has happened, man, in this past year. Like Buffalo went through a lot, man. We went through the mass shooter, the Buffalo shooting at the Tops happened this past year, this past season, this past year. This past year. There were we had 2 blizzards, right? The first blizzard forced Buffalo to play Cleveland in Detroit. So we had to play a home game in Detroit. And then we had another game. Oh, then we had to stay there the following week for the Thanksgiving game against Detroit. So we had that, the blizzard. Then we had another blizzard a few weeks ago that was like massive. I think it was like I think it was worse than the blizzard of 78 or the blizzard of 76. I forgot which one it was, but it was a huge blizzard back then. It was worse than that one. And then you had the whole thing happen with DeMar Hamlin on Monday Night Football, last game of the season. So all these things happened this year, right? So this is like a lot. This is like a rallying point, like a rallying call right here, man. Like all these things happening. This is where all the effort is galvanized, right? So I feel like this is the year. If we're gonna win it, I think this is gonna be the year we do it. You know, just with how everything has been going. The one thing I do wish about this Super Bowl is I wish that the Bills were wearing the red helmets. I wish we had the alternate helmets. I wish we went back to the red helmets, because I gotta see the Bills win. It would be that much sweeter to see the Bills win in the red helmets, man. Like, I'm not like a fan of the red helmets, but that's what I grew up with during my era, and that's what we lost in. So to see us win with the red helmets would like really mean a lot. But I'll take a win. A win is a win. I'll take a Super Bowl win. Shit, I'll take 2. You know? Okay, Blizzard of 78. Thanks, T. Appreciate you. Before we go any further, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, tell a friend, do all that fun internet stuff like the old people say. Host a car wash in your Bills boxers. Hilarious. Yeah, me and my 6 weeks belly. Go out there bare chested, talking about some 6 weeks. Host a car wash in your Bills boxers. That's actually pretty creative. I think you might be on to something, man. But what else, man? Here's the one thing though, right? The one thing I do not like about the one thing I don't like about this Super Bowl and where it's being played at, it's being played in Arizona, right? It's being played in the same stadium where Kyler Murray threw the Hail Murray, the infamous catch that was Kyler Murray to DeAndre Hopkins. Bills had the game won. The Bills were looking like ferocious. We were looking aggressive, and Kyler ran around and threw that shit up for grabs, and DeAndre Hopkins came down with it, man. And that's the same stadium. So I don't want to so we got a lot going against us, man. You know, so I'm just hoping that, you know, I'm hoping this year is it, man. Because I'm hoping this year is it. This year has to be it, man, because yeah, I've been through a lot with this team, man. And I want to get to the thing, right? I want the Bills to win the Super Bowl so I can get this weight off my shoulders, man. Because I've been carrying this weight for a long time, man. I've been carrying this Bills losing the Super Bowl weight for a long time, man. You know? And if they win, it's like I'm gonna have that pressure off my back of not feeling like I have to go to the Super Bowl. Like, here's the thing, right? The Bills went to 4 straight Super Bowls in the 90s and lost 4 straight. They never won a championship. So I'm like, yo, if I watch them play in all their if I watch them play in the Super Bowl or play for a title 4 times in their career and they never won one, I got to see them win their first in person, man. So once they win, this weight, it's going to be off my shoulders. Like, I'm still going to go to Buffalo to go tailgate with the chefs. You know, my guys, Norm, Pooh, Mark, Bill, Petey. I'm gonna be up there, you know, first week of the season tailgating, last week of the season tailgating. You know, I gotta go to the home opener and tailgater. I gotta go to the home opening tailgate, and I gotta go to the season finale cold game tailgate. If I come across some tickets, okay, cool. But really, it's more of like, hey, I'm still around. I'm still, like, I'm not gonna be as pressed to go to the games. You know, like right now, like with the Bills if the Bills win the Super Bowl, I will feel like I have graduated into the next level of being a fan. Like now I'm like alma mater. You know, like I come back and I kind of make appearances. I come back and I'm cool with just going to a tailgate. Like I don't have to be at the game. You know. I'm not saying I'm not going to go to any more games, but I'm just saying like that pressure is going to be off. Like I'm not going to feel that pressure. So I'm trying to get that pressure up off me, you know? So yeah, but man, like another thing too, man, we got all these new Buffalo Bills fans, man. Like, man, where the fuck is y'all coming from, man? Got all these new fans, man. Like, I'm like, look, man, I'm like, yo, if you want to be a Buffalo Bills fan, you got to check in with me. Yeah, that's right. You got to check in with me. You just can't claim you a Bills fan. Like, what have you been through? Right? I've been through Super Bowl. I've been through the 4 straight Super Bowls. I've been through the greatest comeback of all time, or we call it the comeback. I've been through the Music City Miracle. I've been through the Monday night Pittsburgh Three River Meltdown games. I've been through the navy blue dungeon era, jersey era, where we didn't see playoffs wearing the navy blue jerseys. I've been through all. I can name all my quarterbacks, man. I can name all the starting quarterbacks from when I started watching, right? No internet, right? So here we go. We got Jim Kelly, Todd Collins, Alex Van Pelt. Then it was Rob Johnson, Doug Flutie, Drew Bledsoe. Then after Bledsoe, I might get the order mixed up. Then it was Drew Bledsoe, J.P. Lossman, Kelly Holcomb, Trent Edwards, E.J. Manuel, Thad Lewis. Well, so Tyrod Taylor, Fitzpatrick, and now Josh Allen. Right? I named all. Oh, Doug Flutie. Wow, did I say Doug Flutie? I said Rob Johnson. I think I meant to put, because those two, you know, if you know the history, Rob Johnson, Doug Flutie, that was a big deal. You know what I'm saying? That was a beef. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, through the fire, exactly. Yeah. So like I said, I can name all my quarterbacks, man. So I've seen them all play. And I don't think there's a game I have missed. I think I've watched every Bills game. I think I've watched every Bills game since like the age of like 9, you know? So I know my quarterbacks. Right? And look, if you're a Bills fan, you know the scores of them Super Bowl losses by heart. Right? Super Bowl 25, 19-20, Super Bowl 26, 24-37, Super Bowl 27, 17-52, Super Bowl 28, 13-30. You can't recite those. If you can't recite those scores like that, man, shut your ass up. You ain't no goddamn Bills fan. You ain't no bill. Like, I done been through shit, right? Like, I didn't even look them scores up. Like, I had to look through the tears of my eyes while while the clock was ticking down to 0. I had to look at that score through the tears in my eyes. So I know them scores. I know them scores, yo. So, yeah. So all these Bill fans coming around trying to put the little pinky in on success. Nah. You ain't, nah. It's okay to go for the Bills, but I mean, to be a Bills fan, that's I take that as an insult, man, because I didn't been through a lot, man. Like, back when I was in middle school, I went to school in the DMV during Super Bowl 26, and that's when the Skins played the Bills in the Super Bowl, and they beat us 24. I mean, they beat us 24-37. Excuse me. And I was so I was so embarrassed to go to school after the Super Bowl losses, man. Like, man, I was embarrassed because, like, the shit would start when the clocks hit 0 when the Bills lost, right? Like, nobody called my house. Like, nobody would call my house phone except for when the Bills lost the Super Bowl. I would get all these calls after the Bills lost, man. After the clock went to 0-0-0, I would tell my mom, I'd be like, Mom, look, I'm going to bed. I don't feel well. If anyone calls, tell them I'm asleep. And she's like, oh, okay. So soon I go to bed, crying myself to sleep, the fucking phone rang. Here come my mom. Dre, phone. Put the phone, Mom, I'm sick. But she's like, man, nigga, if you don't take this phone. So I would take the phone and I would try to sound sick and shit. I'd be like, hello. And they'd be like, hey, what's wrong, Dre? I'd be like, man, I don't feel good right now, man. And they'd be like, man, that sucks. But not as bad as them Bills. Click, and they would hang the phone up, man. So I would get them kind of phone calls after every fucking Super Bowl, man. And then I had to get up and go to school. So when I went to school in the DMV, my pop, like, I thought I could get to school early, right? I was like, look, I'm gonna get to school. I said, look, Dad, I gotta get to school early, you know. Like, I gotta get to school early, man. You know, so I would get up extra early. I would go to, and I went to school, and it would be dark still and shit, right? And I would go across the courtyard because our first class was choir practice with Miss Edwards. So I crossed in the courtyard, and I looked in the choir room, and it was black. It was dark. So I'm like, yes, I beat these motherfuckers here, you know? And I went in, I opened up that door, man. These motherfuckers was waiting on me. So they got there extra early for me. They were wearing all the war paint, the Indian feathers and shit. They were playing, Miss Edwards was playing Hail to the Redskins on the piano. So, like, I was traumatized, man. Like, every year, man, I was just traumatized. Like, I had to go through the hurt or cry at night. And then I would go to school the next day and I would be ridiculed. You know, so, like, I take being a Bills fan very seriously. You know, if you claim you a Bills fan, my first question to you is, what pain have you gone through? If you ain't going through no pain, man, you ain't no fan. You got to go through that pain, man. So, anyways, nah, man, shoot, man. Oh, yeah, we run over a little bit. Okay, I'm probably gonna wrap up in a little bit. I got some other things I want to talk about. Nah, man. Yeah, I went through a lot with my squad, man. And I'm at the point where I'm just like, you know what? I want to get this weight up off me. You know, and I want to be done. Like, I remember, look, one last little quick Bill story. I remember this was Super Bowl 27. I was like, I think I was in the 7th grade, I think it was. Yeah, I was in the 7th grade, and I made a bet with the school bully, right? I said the Bills gonna win the Super Bowl. He was like, nah. He's like, y'all gonna get crushed. So I bet him $20. Yeah, exactly. The teacher too. So I remember I bet this dude $20, and when the Bills were getting beat 52-17, or like the Bills lost that Super Bowl 52-17 in Pasadena, and as the Bills are just getting punished, I'm thinking, man, I ain't got this motherfucking money. How am I gonna pay this dude, man? Because back during that era, $20 was a lot of money. I'm like, so I can't ask my mom for that money because she gonna whoop my ass. So I was like, man, I gotta go to school and I gotta take this ass whooping. I gotta go take it, you know? So all day in school, I'm ducking and dodging this bully. And then he run up on me. And I was like, yo, man, my bad. I ain't got your money, man. I'm sorry. Like, I'll figure something out. And he was like, nah, man, I'm just coming to check on you to make sure that you're okay. You know, because to be honest, I don't want your money, man. I would feel bad taking your money because your team got destroyed so bad. So you can go and keep, he said you can go and keep the $20. So I wasn't even worthy enough of taking the ass whooping for betting $20 I didn't have. You know, like my pride was like, I was like, look, man, like, nah, I'm like, nah, you gonna beat my ass today. We gonna fight, man. Like, my bills got beat so bad, the bully had mercy on me. Right? So that's the kind of pain I done been through. You know what I'm saying? So I don't take being a Bills fan lightly at all. You know, I don't take that shit lightly at all. But anywho, man, I'm running a little over. I wanted to do some more things. Can I do it? I'm gonna do it because it's my birthday episode. You know, let me just do this right quick. Excuse me. Let me go and look at some DFS right quick. Go ahead and talk some DFS. So we're gonna talk strictly NFL DFS. So let me go ahead and take a look. Let me go ahead and pop this thing in here right quick. Where's my? Here we go. I'm gonna do some DFS talk right quick. And I remember last episode I said I was gonna talk about a comedy bump that happened on December like 22nd. I'm actually gonna save that for another episode because I really want to get into that because I think I'm gonna play back clips of that set and I'm gonna kind of do like an analysis of where I went wrong during that set because it was, I mean, the set, I got laughs, but I got heckled, and from a professional standpoint, the show turned out dope, but I could have done things to not let dude in my set, you know what I'm saying? But we'll talk about that next week. So my apologies. I know last week I said I'll talk about it this week, but this week is birthday episode, Super Bowl Stressin. Next week we'll talk about that. So, this, here we go. What's it asking me for this? Okay, now I want this. There we go. Audio, movie. There we go. This is what I want. Boom. Got it. So go ahead and put you up here right quick. Window capture. So let me go into, let's talk about this right quick, right? So so this is you know, line star data for the for the DFS divisional week next week. So one thing I've noticed, let me actually do this, right? One thing I'm thinking about doing is going back to the divisional week of 2022, right? Divisional week. And if it pops up and looking at what happened, right? So if you look at the who scored the most or the perfect lineup per position, let's actually look at this from main all 4 games. So oh, I'm not gonna be able to see it from here. Okay, damn. Actually, no, we can see this. So Gabe Davis, like, I don't think anyone predicted that, man. He like that's the game he scored 4 touchdowns in this game against the Chiefs last year. But I thought I saw a pattern, but there's no pattern. Like the one thing I thought I saw was like I'm either gonna play the upward trend game where I look to see who's trending upward. Because if you look at Gabe Davis last year, he had a slight trend upward. He went from 0 fantasy points to 2 fantasy points from the conference championship the year before to week 5 of this year. So he went from 0 to 2 to 55. So they look at Mahomes, he kind of decreased or whatever. Who was the quarterback that's so yeah, Josh, yeah. So Patrick Mahomes actually so it's real tricky, right? So because from the conference championship last year or from 2020 to the championship game, to the divisional game last week, he went from 28 to 21 fantasy points. Then he went to 43 in that divisional game. So I thought I saw another pattern from last year. See, I like to look for patterns. So yeah, I got to figure my shit out. The one thing I have been doing that you guys are gonna laugh at is I do a random set. I found a random number generator online, and I just basically had like the computer pick my picks for me randomly, and I've actually had a little bit more success, which is kind of like humbling, you know. So at the end of the day, let me go wrap this up. At the end of the day, the uglier your lineup looks, the better of a chance you have at winning, right? Like if you pick a lineup that looks pretty and you're happy with your lineup, you're probably going to lose. So let's look at the perfect lineup from last year, right? And the thing that's crazy is the perfect lineup from last year, once it has been revealed, it looks perfect once it's been revealed. But before it became revealed, it looked ugly. So last year, this was actually a pretty good perfect lineup, man. You had Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Jones. This is actually from the divisional round of 2022. Aaron Jones from Green Bay, Leonard Fournette, A.J. Brown from Tennessee, Mike Evans, Tyreek Hill. C.J. Uzoma is like the one weird pick. And then Gabriel Davis was also another weird pick. But I guess, so yeah, I'm trying to figure out who my sleeper is going to be for this year. Let me go back to the projections. Let's see what Trevor Lawrence is looking like. So he put up 20 points in week 10 versus, let me actually look at the projected. Here we go. So for Trevor Lawrence, I want him to get 30 points. That's what I want. If he gets 30 points, I would pick him. That would be worth it. So he put up 20 against KC in week 10. And his projection for the divisional round matches what he actually put up in week 10. So I'm probably gonna mess with that. Dak Prescott is less than Lawrence. So he has an up-down pattern. But can he put up 30 against the Cowboys? That's going to be hard, I think. But he has been overperforming in all the games against the Niners in his career. Let's look at his quarterback. Pat Mahomes is 8,000. Can he put up 40? Ooh, yes, he can. Look at that trajectory. 20, 30, 35. Damn. And so he might get 40 in that one. And Josh Allen is like 7,800. So yeah, week 17 was the DeMar Hamlin incident. But you know, I'm probably gonna do a lineup based on the numbers. Then I'm gonna do one being a Bills fan, and then I'm gonna do a random lineup. That's what I'm gonna do. But based on these numbers, he's underperformed against the Bengals in week 3 and 20. Oh, but that was his rookie season game. That was like his 3rd game ever. So you really can't count him for that, you know. But if you look at what he's done at home, against competition in red. So against Green Bay at home and against the New York Giants the New York Jets at home, he basically underperformed his projection. See, Green Bay week 8, he's supposed to put up 25 fantasy points and he only put up 19. And then week 14, he was supposed to put up 23 fantasy points. He only put up 20. So, but has he increased though? But see, he's increased. He went from 19 to 20. So, you know, he may ball out. And then the divisional game, Joe Burrow put up 6. That was the game. I mean, the week 17, that was the DeMar Hamlin situation. So that's why he only put up 6 there. But on the road in red, he overperformed. So he put up 28 at New England, 35 at New Orleans. Wow. Yeah. So, yes. Now I'm looking at these quarterbacks, man. It's looking like, yeah, I'm pretty, yeah, like I said, I'm gonna do 3 lineups. I'm gonna be a fan. I mean, let me go cut this off because I'm about to wrap up in a second. Excuse me. But yeah, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have my fan lineup. And I'm gonna have a lineup based on the numbers where I do some sort of analytics, and then I'm going to do a random one, you know, and hopefully, man, hopefully I can come up with some big bucks. Hopefully something with a comma or 2 in it. You know what I'm saying? But anywho, this has been the 68th episode of Trippin' with Theobold. Like I said, thanks for tuning in. AT is where it's at on most forms of social media. Excuse me. If you wanna donate, like I'm not saying you have to, but I'll put it out there. If you want to donate to my birthday, cash at me. $ AT is where it's at. You know, if not, no big deal. You know, I'm good. But don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, tell a friend to tell a friend, do all that fun internet stuff. And once again, thanks for tuning in. And I'm out of here, folks. Peace. Yep. Trippin' with Theobold.
Let's go.
Caliente.
Trippin'. Yep. Trippin'. Trippin'. Trippin' with Theobold.
Trippin' with Theobold.